We're Bison! We are impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power and make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to episode 60 of Impacted, coming to you live via the Total Nonstop Impact Network on YouTube and Twitch. I am your host Bison, and today I am joined by the one and only Joker, and of course, the man simply known as Steve. Hello, brother. How are we doing, guys?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Goodness me, we ain't got a delay there, or is one of you just waiting for the other one to talk? What's going on?
No, I've got the audio on the live stream as well. So it's like hearing two things at once, and I got the star next to me.
Okay, brother. You get that sorted, man. Get that sorted. Anyway,
Yeah, I'll
so
exit and come back.
Okay, buddy. We'll see you in a second. We'll see you in a buddy. How are you, Steve? How's your week been?
Yeah, been pretty productive, if I say. Had quite a lot going on, but I think finding new directions with work and sort of lot on the medical side of things, but everything seems to be coming up in a good direction, heading towards Christmas, thankfully.
That's what we like to hear. Of course, the Christmas season. I don't think it's going to be too long before we announce our Christmas specials, obviously leading into the Christmas period. I think we're going to be looking at getting the entire TNI family together. So it's going to be interesting on when that goes out, because obviously the time scales, etc. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, and we're going to get lots of stuff going on. So make sure you get involved in that. Can I just say a quick hello to Mir? I've noticed he's in there. You got Ulysses in the chat there as well. Impacted Eagles, Mr. Impact Wrestling. Oh my god, they're all coming in there. Oh, Joker's in there as well. No, they're all coming in the house tonight. It's great to see everybody. And like I say, guys, don't forget to leave us your comments and thoughts all the way through the show. We are very interested to know what you guys think. Now, obviously, Joe is not with us at the moment. He's just basically doing a quick restart. I think his streaming's playing up a little bit, but hopefully he'll be back at any second now. Now, I do want to say, though, we have, oh my God, Punk is in the house as well. Hello, buddy. Great to see you as well. Nice to see you, man. Anyway, so we've got a very special guest in the house this week. Now, we have one of the UK's top talent. He hails from the great city of Cardiff in Wales, and he is Elijah.
Hello, everybody. How are we doing?
Hello, mate. Hello. It's great to see you, and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Hey, we're excited to have you on the show. I said it's fresh off me seeing you at Wrestle Carnival a few weeks back. I was extremely impressed, which is why I reached out to you. And I think the guys that join us in the chat, etc., are going to be interested to find out a bit more about you, which I think is great. Now, I just want to check something, and that is, when I was doing some research, I found that you are said to be born in Bristol, but your Twitter definitely says you're from Cardiff. But as a proud Bristolian, I'm very interested to know which is the correct answer.
Well, the Twitter profile doesn't lie. I'm from Cardiff, but I did live in Bristol for about 6 or 7 years. So I think that's where that little bit of misinformation has come from. But okay, I'm also a very proud Bristolian in a way, but not born there.
It's a cool city. It is a cool city.
Yeah,
it's a very, very cool city. And funny enough, that's where my moniker Bison came from. Because years and years and years ago, when I started training to be a wrestler, my wrestling name was going to be the Bristolian Bison. And then sort of just got shortened down to just Bison, and then one day somebody went Lord Bison, and then it's sort of I don't know. It just all these things sort of kind of just pile on. But anyway, So it's great to know. It is a great city, and I love it there.
Awesome.
I live in the great Essex area now, so I moved
awesome.
away, and I
I'm
love it here
heading
as well.
Your way on Sunday, I believe.
This Sunday coming, who's that with? LDN.
Jurassic Pro.
Oh, okay. Whereabouts are they?
I think they're Harwich. I don't know how close that is to where you are.
Yeah, that's actually literally down the road.
Oh, there you go.
Is it an evening show?
I think it's a daytime.
Okay, I'm going to check that out. I'm going to check
have
that
a
out.
look.
Yeah, definitely. Literally like half an hour away. Literally. So I'm going to go and check that
see you if you can make it.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
You can plug there for Jurassic Pro.
Exactly. That would be cool, man. That would be cool. Can I just quickly say a quick hello to Valerie, who's joined us in the chat? It's great to see you, sweetheart. And I think Courtney's in there as well.
Yes, she's just joined us.
Yeah, Courtney. She's one of our biggest fans, so we like to give her a shout out every week, don't we, guys?
Just Hakeem popped in.
Yeah, that's right. Who else?
Hakeem's just popped in.
Oh, yeah. Hakeem's in there, and Zach. Oh, Zach's in as well. Good Lord, we're all mounting up today. Very popular today. Anyway, so am I right? You had your very first professional wrestling match in 2016, I believe. You trained with Dragon Pro Academy. Can you give us some insight into how and why you decided to become a professional wrestler?
Oh, yeah, great question. I mean, it was something that I wanted to do since I was a kid, but I just didn't know it was a thing, especially in the UK. You know what I mean? I mean, nowadays schools advertise quite regularly kind of on like social media, but it wasn't really a thing when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I kind of missed out on it when I was younger, but a friend of mine asked me in a conversation at the pub when I was 25 years old.
Yeah.
I fancied coming down and just giving it a go. And I went the next day and the week after and the week after that. And I don't think I've stopped since. So,
so he's absolutely loved it.
6 years ago, so.
Okay, fantastic. And how did you come across? Because obviously it was Dragon Pro, is that right? The Dragon Pro Academy.
Yeah. So
how
I was
did you come across that
at the time?
Yeah.
And it was through a friend who is also a wrestler now. Shout out LK Messinger, who I tag with quite regularly. And yeah, it was him that suggested we go. And like I said, drive across the bridge into Wales, and that was that. We're kind of hooked.
Fair enough. Yeah. It's interesting because back when I started with Hammerlock down in Kent, and I actually, because I was in Bristol, we actually used to travel down there every bloody weekend. It was our work, that's because I got a knee injury, and that was it. Then basically, every time I started to kind of get in, I just kept getting a knee injury over and over again, and it just basically halted it. I was like, well, I'm not going to get anywhere if I keep getting an injury. And I've not even got into a match yet. Basically that was it. I just kept doing my knee in. But I enjoyed it. It was hard work, and that's why I think now I kind of have a serious respect for any of you guys that are doing this for a living, because like it's hard. The abuse that you give that your bodies go through and all that kind of stuff. It's a very, I respect you all big time, and hence why I like getting people on and talking to you guys about about this and everything, and I just total respect for any of you. Now, so this really started to pick up in 2019, though, didn't it? I mean, the early part of 2020 for you. I noticed that you were booked with lots of matches back then, lots of different promotions. I mean, we've got Attack, Dragon Pro, Wrestling Resurgence, Evolution, Riptide, just to name a few of the promotions that you were performing at that time. And then, of course, COVID-19 suddenly hit, which put a halt to everything that was going on. I mean, how did this affect you at that time? Because you must have been like, bollocks, I'm starting to, this is starting to take off for me. This is so frustrating. How did that affect you?
Definitely felt like the rug got pulled out from under us. I think, like you said, that 2019 going into the start of 2020 was probably the most momentum I think I've had. I was raring to go. I thought 2020 was going to be a real big kind of breakout year for me. And then, as you said, the world kind of stopped. So it was pretty devastating. But
Yeah, I can imagine.
think the one thing that I've taken away from it is it really gave me time to rest up some injuries, kind of reassess some goals, and just train in a kind of mental way of like watching more wrestling and kind of having the time to pick apart matches and really study, which is something that you don't get a lot of time to do, especially when, you know, you're training so regularly and you are, you know, juggling maybe some day jobs and obviously the gym. So it was nice to actually have a little bit of time to just really delve into some like old wrestling and just watch some stuff and learn. So it had its perks, you know. I can't say it was a complete negative.
So it allowed you to sort of kind of like take things to another level in terms of like maybe mentally as well. So you sort of kind of fantastic. And if you had any injuries at that point, it also gave you the opportunity to heal a bit as well, I guess. Yeah,
I don't think I realized how kind of beat up I was until I stopped. So it was definitely a welcome little rest period.
I can imagine, definitely. So we fast forward to 2021, and this year once again. I mean, it looks like you're going from strength to strength with some fantastic matches in promotions like Progress, Wrestle Carnival, Slam Masters. I think you did Kamikaze as well. And it looks like you've got another match coming up this Sunday that we just talked about. It seems like the UK scene is now starting to thrive once again. I just wondered what your thoughts on the pro wrestling scene in the UK are, you know, from your perspective at the moment.
Yeah, I think right now is a great time. I think, you know, obviously a lot's happened with not just the pandemic, but speaking out as well. And it's been a very slow building from the ground up process of wrestling coming back to the UK. But I think the people on the scene right now, some of the most dedicated wrestlers, not just to wrestling itself, but to making sure that this is a scene that people can enjoy and feel safe in. And I think that, you know, the wrestling that's coming out from those people is just a credit to the scene. So for me, I think wrestling's going to thrive in the UK, especially as we go into 2022. And the little taster that we've had of it so far in 2021 has been pretty tasty. So
definitely. Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, some of the promotions at the moment, Progress, especially Wrestle Carnival's been coming through. I'm a real big fan of Wrestle Carnival. I love what they're doing. I think Gary's doing a fantastic job. It's sort of like creating this brand spanking new. I think it's going to turn into a juggernaut, quite frankly. I think they're going to get a bit bigger and bigger. Atmosphere. Yeah, exactly. I mean, some of the stars that they've got coming through is amazing. So I'm looking forward to seeing where they go. Now, we have recently had an opponent of yours on the show, Mr. Charles Crowley, and quite frankly, he is a bit of a twat. A lovable one, you know, in a lovable way.
My kind of twat.
Say what you really think.
but you know, very much feels like, you know, he said as well, he very much feels like the scene is now really sort of kind of hungry with up and coming talents. You know, where did you like yourselves, etc. And I know that you've obviously recently been in the ring with Charles as well. So, and I bet that was a lot of fun because he is a crazy showman, that's for sure. And I say he's a twat in a lovable way, guys, because that is his moniker. That's what he likes. He wants people to call him a twat, basically. So, you know, so we're all good with that. We're tight. It's all good.
No bad blood.
No bad blood. So it's all good. But let me ask you this: where would you like to see yourself, say, in 3 years' time? Do you have aspirations of signing with, say, an Impact, an AEW, or even a WWE? What is your end goal?
I think end goal, yeah, absolutely. I'd love to be contracted to one of the major companies. I think for now, I'm just really enjoying the journey. So 3 years' time, yeah, maybe that would be something that would be on the horizon by then. But certainly for the next 3 years up to that point, I'm just enjoying the ride. And I mean, as you said, I'm starting to get kind of like quite prolific in the big companies here in the UK. So maybe the next step for me is that step across the water to the States. And you know, the indie scene is absolutely thriving in the States right now. So it's somewhere I'd love to get eventually.
Yeah, I think you would do an amazing job over there. I can think of several US talents that I love to see you in the ring with. That's for sure. You know, and not necessarily that are contracted to any of the big companies, but some of the guys that go to like AAW, you know, different promotions like that, GCW, because there's some amazing talents there.
Yeah, GCW is thriving right now. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, definitely. So I mean, there's some amazing indie talents that are like literally, oh my god, you could have some amazing matches. I think with some of those guys, definitely, and it'd be great to see some of those guys come to the UK as well.
Yeah.
And I know we've got a couple of ex NXT. I like to say we've got EY coming to the UK in February time as well. So it's going to be amazing to kind of see where these guys that start coming over are going to start hooking up with, you know, where they're going to have some good matches. Like I say, I think you could have some good matches with some of these guys as well. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, we did touch that you've got a match on Sunday down here in Harwich. Where can we be seeing you compete over the next sort of couple of months and leading into the early part of 2022? Have you got anything booked or?
I've got a full weekend this weekend, so I'm at Purpose Wrestling on Friday in London. I am at Southwest Wrestling on Saturday, which is in Cinderford.
Okay.
I got Jurassic Pro Sunday, which is in Harwich. Next week I'm in Bristol for Evolution Wrestling.
Very nice.
And then I think I got a little bit of quiet time then for Christmas.
Fabulous. We all need that.
Hopefully we'll be very busy with the likes of Progress, a new company that's just started called Modern Nomad Wrestling, which is they run the Tuesday night Grap show recently in Manchester.
Okay.
And plenty
actually
more.
I saw that advertised. Yeah, I did see that one advertised. It's hard because one of the hardest things for me is there's so many different promotions of trying to like actually physically know like where some of these guys are. It's funny because I'd never heard of the Jurassic one before, so the fact that they're in Harwich, which is literally down the road,
there's so many now, it's hard to keep up. It is.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be checking those out. And the other one, which we tend to get quite a lot of this way, is LDN. Have you ever performed with those?
I have, but like years back. Probably in my first year, actually, like 2016, I'd say.
Yeah,
I did it.
Because they're quite busy. They're quite popular up this way. I mean, I live on the coast, so they do a lot of stuff around Clacton on Seaway, around there.
Yeah, I was going to say like theaters and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's right. They do a lot of the theater stuff, but I've only ever been to one of their shows. They're pretty good. Yeah, I do enjoy them. They're very good at what
family
they do.
Vibes there.
Exactly, which is what I like about Wrestle Carnival. Actually, is that it's a family vibe, type promotion.
It's a good
like
variety show. I think Carnival. You get a bit of everything there. You get your comedy. You get your kind of like hard hitting matches. You get your, the pure rules matches. You really get a lot of variety on those cards. So they're good shows, man. I enjoy being there. Hopefully I'll be there more next year.
Yeah, that would be good to see, definitely. Well, it's been absolutely awesome talking to you today, Elijah, but I'm afraid I think that's all we've got time for today. Can you let the audience know where they can follow you on the social media, and of course purchase any of your merch? Because I think I've noticed you've got a Big Cartel site as well, so I'm interested to see what you got there. So if you let everyone know, that'd be great.
Yeah, so you can catch me at Elijah Wrestler. That's on Instagram and Twitter. And there should be links in the bio on both of those for any merch. Got some T-shirts on there. Hopefully I have a few more shirts coming up in the new year. And thank you for having me, guys. It's been great hanging out and chatting with you all.
No worries. I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure. I think you're a fantastic talent. I couldn't stress enough, guys. Go and check out at Eli Wrestler on social media, on Twitter. he's got loads of videos. There's loads of sort of kind of like YouTube clips and videos of different matches that he's had over the past sort of like several years actually. There's some older stuff on there and there's some new stuff on there. There's some good stuff on there with our good friend Charles Crowley. So go and check those out. Yeah, there is some good ones on there with Charles. So it's definitely worth going and checking him out. Give him a follow. And like I say, go and check out some of his merch. We all love to support, the independent guys, and this is how we do it. Let the world know that you like this guy. We
appreciate you all very much. Thank you.
No worries. Thank you for joining us today, and have a fantastic Christmas and New Year, buddy. All the best.
You guys too.
Elijah, everyone. Take care.
Now.
Bye. Well, there we go. Another fantastic UK-based talent arrived on our show, and I think it's great. And thank you, Zach. It was thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. It does help when the when the talents that come on are receptive and want to talk to us. And it's great, and a real nice guy. So please go and check him out on the socials. He's a fantastic guy. And a great wrestler. So go and check him out. Well worth it. Yes. Okay. Well, let's move on with the show then, boys. Let's move on with the show. So let's get into the world of Impact and pro wrestling, shall we? What's been going on for the past week? I think that's what we need to talk about. Yeah. So we've got some interesting stuff. Let's just start with one thing. We've got the end of the year awards polls that's been released for Impact Wrestling. Some surprise people missing off the list, like Eddie Edwards and Rachel Ellering, to name just two. And they've been a little bit vocal about it as well. Well, not so much Eddie, but Alicia Edwards has definitely been vocal about Eddie not being on the Pro Wrestler of the Year list. Not even an option.
Rachel Ellering's from very vocal too. Rachel Ellering's pretty pissed off as well.
You're like, Christ, my name's not even on there. But I guess there's so many talents to choose from that you can only have so many on the list, I guess. So I don't know.
For me, Wrestler of the Year, an outside bet for me would have been Sabin. I thought Sabin's character work and his wrestling this year has been outstanding. And I was gutted for Knockout Match of the Year that Rachel Ellering versus Mercedes Martinez wasn't up there.
Yeah, I would have picked that.
Yeah, I was shocked. Yeah, I was just shocked at that. And I'm dead shocked at that because that was a cracking match. The only problem is that what you have to remember, I guess, is over a 12-month period. I mean, they only pick 5 or 6 matches, I guess. I mean, over that period, there was some cracking matches. There really was some cracking matches when you think about it. Because we had the Iron. No, did we have the Iron Woman match?
No, that was the year before.
Was it? So, but we've certainly had some really big, big matches. That have been really, really good. And I guess sometimes when you put that effort and you put that work in, it can be a little bit disheartening if you don't at least get a mention, or an option to pick them. But it's difficult, isn't it? And the same can be said for Eddie. Eddie has had some incredible. I mean, let's face it, Eddie has incredible matches all the time. Every match is really good.
Who does?
Eddie Edwards.
I am the fire.
Exactly. He is the fire of Impact Wrestling. I love it. Yeah. So, that's the interesting thing. I'm interested to know what all of you guys in the chat think about, who you thought possibly should have been, on the polls for different things, maybe different matches, different individuals.
And they did drop a lot of awards as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they've only got like 4 awards up, which I thought it was ridiculously too light. I was really disappointed. There's so
4. I think it's more than that, mate. It's definitely more than that.
The one I found for the officials site only had 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't have was it the one to watch or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just had match of the year, male superstar of the year, female superstar of the year, and pay-per-view of the year or something like that, and that was it.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's
there
because of the last few times they've done the one to watch. It hasn't. I mean, last year it was Willie Mack, and really, what has Willie Mack done this year that's been the one to watch kind of thing?
Well, I'm sure Willie don't want to hear that, mate.
Oh
Yeah,
no! I'm saying that when you put someone,
I'm sure all he wants to hear is about whether you've got any hair on your booty cheeks.
Yeah. He has the ability to be the one to watch, but when you're touted as the next one to watch, you expect to have him like in the main event. And I think I can't remember who won it the year before, but I don't think they were kind of the one to watch. It feels like the wrong people have been winning that award.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, but the trouble is, it's difficult, isn't it? Because the one to watch at the end of the day is being voted by us, and that's got to be based on what they've done in that year. That doesn't if the following year they don't have as good a year, that's not Impact's fault, is it? Because the people that have voted are us. But I don't know. There's just so many good matches, so many good. I mean, Anna's just put it. Violet has just said it. At the end of the day, there are so many good matches, so many good wrestlers. It is really difficult.
I'm not disappointed in what they gave us.
No, nor am I. And but I can see why. A couple of them might be, a little bit disgruntled if they, they had some great matches or whatever. But again, there's only so many. There's only so many people you can put forward for. You can't put like the entire roster, can you?
Oh, so. Oh yes, they.
No one appreciates the classics no more.
Nobody appreciates it, mate. Nobody appreciates it. That's the thing. That I'm so glad you put that one in. I love it. I love that one. Anyway, so you totally thrown me off because I think that's so good. I just love that one. Anyway, maybe we should do an entire Impacted like that. Just as all of us just going, and then you say something. Joe?
Well, we got the big group meeting later on in the month, haven't we? So we can go squeeze in 5 minutes there.
Yeah, maybe we could.
You can crack first. Who's the last person to piss themselves laughing when everyone's just going? I just made Sammy jump off and give me some sort of death glare. So
anyway, oh dear, it's amazing, absolutely amazing. So like you say, there's only so many people you can go with, So I'm not disappointed. It is just a shame. I mean, like I say, Rachel's been amazing, as Eddie Edwards has always been amazing. But maybe it is time to give other people a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Certainly with Eddie, but not so much with Rachel. I guess she's quite new as well. But yeah, so it's all good stuff. Now, it looks like Violet is just choked on her lunch, but there you go. So info on Jonah with New Japan Pro Wrestling, of course, Impact deals, etc. So it looks like he's sort of kind of made it clear that he's primarily focusing with New Japan Pro Wrestling, but that deal is allowing him to be able to work with other promotions. So that's great. I'm sure he's obviously going to get paper appearance stuff or whatever it is with Impact. That they will probably have if they're going to push him like it looks like they are, then I'm sure that they've put him down to like some sort of 10 appearances or something, or some sort of deal where it lasts for a certain length of time, which is going to be great. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of Jonah. Give him a good push. Let's see where he goes with it in the future. But I mean, I think that's good news. I think that's good news that we're going to see him. We also had this past week on Impact a very controversial finish to last week's four-way as Cardona pins Moose 1, 2, 3. Now that's interesting, isn't it? That is very interesting. Did you expect that? I didn't. I never expected Moose to be pinned 1, 2, 3 like that. Even though it's a four-way, there's no. They would never, Kenny would never have agreed to that, would he?
No.
So it's interesting, isn't it, where we're going to go with this? I don't think Cardona is going to end up world champion. But I think it is very interesting that they allowed Moose to get pinned there. But again, I guess this
It plays
also
into the story, doesn't it, of what they've now got for Hard to Kill, doesn't it?
exactly because Scott D'Amore comes out after Impact goes off the air. Which then gets obviously announced via social media that Hard to Kill, the main event, is now going to be a 3-way for world title. Moose, Matt Cardona versus W. Morrissey. Now, there's a couple of ways you can look into this, right? And that is that they're keeping Josh out of the title picture a little bit at the moment. They've obviously got some other plans for Josh, which is fine. We don't want him to be getting that back yet because obviously now Moose has got it. We don't want a hot potato this title. Let's keep it with him for a little while. I can't see Morrissey beating him unless he has, signed a significant contract that nobody knows about. And the same with Matt Cardona. I'd be very surprised if he walks away with that title. However, I'm actually for a 3-way, and I know that Mia's gonna get on my case over this. But for a 3-way, I'm actually quite excited for this one because I think this is actually going to be pretty good. I don't know. What are your thoughts on obviously what went down, how it all came about? Let's go with you, Joe.
I love how the match just came apart at the end. It was great, Everyone was expecting Morrissey to have Moose's back and all this, and the way it just completely went unhinged with Eddie Edwards taking him out, and then Cardona managing to it was just the finish was great. It was amazing to see Cardona get the roll up on Moose. That had me jumping. I was really pleased to see Cardona get the win rather than W. Morrissey pin Eddie Edwards again, because that's what I was expecting. And then when I watched the video of Scott D'Amore coming in after the match, I was just thinking, yes, we've got JONAH Peraza invoking a rematch clause at Hard to Kill, and now we've got this. These are like the two big kick-ass matches to kick off the year. And let's see what they're going to do with Trey Miguel now, and because we've got high standards already for two of the titles. So we've got Trey Miguel with the X Division title and then the Knockouts titles and the Tag Team titles. So they got a lot of momentum to build for them now.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that.
Plenty of time to do so.
And what's interesting as well, I mean, Zach Bonifer has just mentioned it in the chat with Scott coming out, touching the Canadian flag. Bill's Canadian flag, I might add. So, Arkip, see, I knew it. We're straight on it. Look, Bison loves 3-ways, 4-ways, I'm not sure. Yeah, but there you go. But at the end of the day, I just think if it works, if it makes sense for the story, then great. Let's make it happen. And this one, this one makes sense. It does make sense the way that they built it.
The wrestlers haven't been forced into a 3-way because of bad booking. Every wrestler has got a reason to be in there.
Yeah, I think it works.
If it was going to be W. Morrissey versus Moose, then there's no baby face in there either. So you need an underdog, and you need someone who you can fall back on that you actually like, not someone that you like because you don't like the other one.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Keith could be right as well. I mean, if you notice, Keith's mentioned in the chat that are we going to see the return of Team Canada? And again, when you think about it, the way that Scott D'Amore was acting when he came out, touching the Canadian flag and all that kind of stuff, is there a hint? Oh, Josh Alexander. Let's be honest. Like,
but who else would be on Josh? Because
there's loads of Canadian wrestlers on the roster.
I'm trying to think.
There's quite a few, and who knows? He could bring people in.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. I'm trying to think. Who bring in, and I mean, who on the roster is Canadian?
I mean, again, it made a little bit more sense when Petey Williams was still there, because you could have had, obviously, as like the original member, one of the original members kind of thing. But who knows? It would be cool to see a return of Team Canada. I was always a fan of Team Canada. I thought they were great. But, I mean, obviously EY wouldn't be a part of it anymore.
Scott D'Amore might still have some input in it, though.
You never know. But there's plenty there. And I do love a good chat about what could happen. It probably won't, But hey ho, we love a good speculation, we do, and it's all part of the fun, that's for sure. Hello, Critical Sing, nice to see you, my friend. Obviously, we've got Keith in the house as well, so loads of people joining us today. So it's great to see you guys. Thank you very much. Now, moving on from the Team Canada discussions, we will also, and obviously we've been talking about Scott D'Amore, we will also find out this week on Impact who will be in the history-making Knockouts Ultimate X match. Several ladies looking like they want to be in on this. So I can't wait to see who it will be. Now, obviously on the socials, we've definitely seen Chelsea wanting to get involved in this. Chelsea Green, we've seen Lady Frost, definitely wants to get involved with this, and we'll get to Lady Frost a little bit later. I think Alicia Edwards is definitely wanting to be a part of this as well. And again, I think, wrestlers like Lady Frost, wrestlers like Alicia are tailor-made for this kind of match. But again, you sort of kind of, you need that grounded wrestler as well. So maybe a Savannah Evans could get involved in this, or a Jordan Grace or something. I definitely think Jordan Grace is going to be in this. The amount of upper body workouts we've seen from her recently, she's definitely vying for a place in the Ultimate X match, that's for sure. What do you think, Joe? What about you?
Yeah, Alicia Edwards is rallying behind all my calls for her to go into this match as well. So I know she's definitely keen to get into it. And Lady Frost, like you said, I've seen what she's had to say, and her online promo was awesome to basically say, I'm going to be in this match whether you fucking like it or not. And I think Rachel Ellering and Jordan Grace will both be in this match. It'll probably come down to Tasha Steele, Savannah Evans, Rachel Ellering, Jordan Grace, Lady Frost, and Alicia Edwards, or Lady Frost and Chelsea Green. If Scotland was feeling really, really horrible and wants to exclude Alicia Edwards from the match.
Okay, what about you, Steve? What do you think?
Well, we're having a few knockouts sort of matchups in the last sort of few weeks. I wondered, we had Rachel get a win last week, so I wonder if that will play into her getting into this match. And yeah, we've got a couple of matchups next week, so I wonder if the winner of them will kind of deter Scott's decision to put them into the match. But yeah, like you say, Alicia and Lady Frost have really been pushing for this, haven't they?
Yeah, definitely. And of course, you've got Masha as well.
Yeah, Alicia Edwards was basically threatening Scott D'Amore last week to get into the match.
Yeah, that was funny. That was good. But also, we've got...
Hold on, calm down, just breathe.
Exactly. Also, you've got what about Masha Slamovich as well? I mean, obviously, she's recently been signed. She had an amazing match with Diana. It was Diana, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was Diana.
Yeah, she had an amazing match with Diana. Championship. We got to see her come back. She's now been signed. What are they going to do with her? I think there's a possibility that Masha could end up in this match. I think Lady Frost will be in this match. I'm convinced about that. She is tailor made for it because she's just so athletic, so agile. She can fly, so she's got to be in there. She's got to be in there. And like I said, I can't see Kimberly. I can't see.
Kimberly has a background in gymnastics, doesn't she? So she could.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there is a possible. I think she was a dancer. Is that? I think she was a dancer. Yeah, I think she was a dancer. But I mean, maybe. But I just can't see them in it. I can't see. Tenille. I can't see Tenille in it. I can't see the inspiration.
I'm really surprised the direction they've taken, because after what happened around Bound for Glory, I really thought that the Undead Bridesmaids were really going to push for the tag titles, given what happened around Bound for Glory.
Yeah, so did I. I thought they were going to give them a push, but they've got other plans now, haven't they? I mean, you've got the. I'm pretty certain that we're now going to see a stable being created with the influence and obviously the inspiration. But we can get to that a little bit later on. There's something going on there, or the influence is going to break up and Tennille's going to join the Inspiration or something along those sort of lines. I'm pretty sure of that. But yeah, I'm pretty convinced that when it comes to the Ultimate X match, you know, you can count out the Inspiration, you can count out Madison Rayne, and Tennille Dashwood straight away. They're not going to be involved in this. And I don't think Brandy Loren or Kimberly will potentially be in this either. I'm pretty certain that we're going to be it's going to be that Masha's going to be in this. It'll almost be that this is her sort of kind of big match to kick her off as a contracted talent. And I'm convinced it'll be Lady Frost as well. I think Alicia will be in there. I really, really do. I think Alicia's going to get that spot. And then Jordan Grace, it'll be Tasha Steeles, and it'll either be Savannah Evans or Rachel Ellering. That's what I think. Or Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
But either way, it's gonna be absolutely cracking. I think it's gonna be absolutely cracking, and I can't wait. I think it's gonna be an amazing match. I love watching these kind of matches. You know, when you know you're watching it, it's a first time ever match. It's never happened before. You're watching history being made. So I'm looking forward to that. I really, really am. Okay, so we had a backstage vignette of Tennille meeting up with old friends, the Inspiration, and I have to say, I thought this vignette was absolute fire, which is why that I put this into our sort of kind of world of Impact for the week, because it's gone crazy on the socials as well. Everyone absolutely loved it. I think whoever picked the music for this segment needs like a promotion, or at least a bonus, because I think the music really, really made this vignette so good. What were your thoughts on it? I'm going to go with Steve first on this.
The Inspiration and the influence section to begin with. The segment itself was fantastic, and the whole sort of the feel it put you in really gave that segment an extra lift. To begin with, I was like, I don't know if I like where they're going, because they've got two tag teams and it looks like they're merging them into one. However, there could be a bigger story where they could still come away with two, if you think about it.
Yeah,
because we've been pushing for the Wolves, haven't we? Who's David's significant other?
Yeah. Well, no, they're not anymore. They split up a while ago.
Yeah, but
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but we could sort of see a beautiful people reunion, couldn't we?
Well, I mean, yeah, Madison. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, you've got Madison. Yeah, we're not going to see Velvet Sky, unfortunately, because she's.
No, I mean Angelina.
Like, yeah, I know that. Yeah, sorry, but we're not going to see Velvet Sky.
She's in Ring of Honor, and they've got their kind of.
I've forgotten who she tags with now. The Allure. She's got it's the Allure, isn't it? I can't remember the name of her partner, but it's a very similar Beautiful People stable. It's a very similar vibe.
Well,
so maybe.
They were obviously the Beautiful People. They were three at one point, weren't they? With Velvet.
Yeah. Yes,
I mean
Velvet, Madison. Yeah, Velvet,
Angelina.
Madison, Angelina were the three
and
beautiful
then at one
people.
Point they had Lacey, but let's forget about that.
Yeah, that wasn't great. But yeah, there is. I mean, there's definitely a potential. I got to be honest with you. Do you know what? I'd love to see a reunion of the Doll's House.
Yes.
Like, I thought that was going so well. The Doll's House would have been amazing. The Doll's House would keep that going. Would have been amazing. And there is
showed Taryn in such a great, like, in such a better personality. She brought more personality out of herself as well.
Yeah, Marty Bell was good.
Mm.
I'm interested to see, where she goes from here.
Well, she's in NWA, isn't she, Marty?
Yeah,
Bell?
she's doing big things with Sienna.
Mm.
Or sorry, not Sienna. Alison Kay.
Alison Kay.
Yeah. So I mean, lots of interesting stuff, and people. And now we've got working relationships. There's no reason why any of these people couldn't suddenly turn up out of the blue. You just don't know, do you? And again, yes, you're right, Violet. Velvet is doing commentary for NWA as well, which is good. Hey, Terrence, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Can I just ask? So we got Sylvan Petronia. Now, have you been in before, bruv? I don't think I've seen your name before. So if you're brand spanking new, thank you for joining us, and I hope you like what you hear. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Can I point out what Mia's just said? Like, Caleb for me always just is fantastic. Like the fact he didn't have a clue what was going on and just joined in with it all and was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you're right, Mia. I think there's definitely going to either be a split up of the influence, and then with Tennille joining, obviously the inspiration. So we'll have a full on kind of Australian faction, I guess you could say. I mean, Jonah is. Oh no, Jonah's not Australian. He's from New Zealand, I think. But again, I mean, that's certainly from that neck of the woods.
The fact that we're getting a lot of talent over there does make me think: are they planning anything?
Well, we do seem to be getting a lot of talent, and I guess if we were to build up a decent Australian, roster, then there is the possibility that would help be able, because I know we haven't got I know Impact at the moment is not on TV in Australia, and a lot of the Australian guys sort of kind of like I see them regularly moaning about it. So maybe if they can build up 4 or 5 Australian or certainly down under wrestlers to the roster, that would again open up the possibility and interest from a network over there to put Impact back on TV. That's what I always say. At the end of the day, Impact struggled to keep a deal over here because there was no British wrestlers on the roster. I honestly believe you need to do that. They need to get different nations on, which again, MASH has signed because they've just done a deal with a Russian TV, media. So, it all of a sudden we got a Russian wrestler. That's interesting, because the Russians are they want a wrestler to get behind, and it's exactly the same as if with the UK, same with the Australians. They're going to tune in because they want to see their nationalities. They want to see their own, people from their countries on the show. And so they want to support them. So that there's definitely the reason for pushing forward and getting TV deals, etc. It's a big thing. And sorry, you're right. Yeah, he's Australian with Samoan heritage. So there you go. Fantastic. Nixon Newell, would be another great signing. Terrence, you're right there, definitely. So there is a possibility that they're sort of building this, a more multi-international roster, and they need to do it. They need to do it because we've got Canadians, we've got Americans, we've now got Australians. We've got some Mexicans in there. Funny enough, we've got a decent presence in all of these countries now. We've got a Russian now. So now we've got a Russian deal. We've got some, not necessarily like Indian heritage characters, certainly from that neck of the woods. We've got that all in there. Now we need to start getting some European wrestlers in there. Yeah, and that will start attracting the European fans more. So that's what we need to do. But, it's great to see. And I think that was an amazing segment, really well put together, absolutely superb. And Violet, you're right. NWI has several UK wrestlers. You've got Bram over there. Oh, well, he's Thomas Latimer.
I mean, one of the main behind the scenes guys, Nick Aldis, is from the UK. So they probably will have a lot of UK talent.
Yeah, and I believe Hard Times too. Doug Williams turned up, so there is there is the potential to start doing it now. They need to start doing it. They need to start bringing some UK wrestlers in because there's some badass wrestlers that they need to be taking a look at. Okay, so move
for reals.
And talking about Taya, Taya makes it known she is coming for Deanna Purrazzo with in a AAA promo. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? Do we think that she's just heading to AAA, or is she going to be, are we going to get to see her in Impact? Is she going to turn up anywhere else? What are your thoughts on?
I am the greatest.
No doubt. So what are your thoughts with Taya facing the fucking greatest? What are your thoughts?
I think for the short term, definitely it's going to be Taivaku who's going to be back on AAA and just going from place to place, working mostly with AAA. While she finds her feet again and just because AAA is a second home to her, or like her main base outside of wherever she was beforehand. So AAA, Mexico being like the biggest place she's learned everything from, learned her craft from, will be her main roster, and then there'll be appearances in AEW, appearances on Impact Wrestling, and elsewhere. And maybe a full return to Impact Wrestling, maybe not. Just got to let this dog out. Hang on.
I agree. I totally agree with Keith there. I mean, I miss Ty on Impact. I think her yes, she was always a great wrestler. But I think her kind of like, backstage or promo work or vignette stuff, her acting skills was made in Impact Wrestling. And that's where she really came into her own. So I really hope that we do get to see Taya turn up on Impact Wrestling in the near future.
I think she will. They've made a lot of references to her. And I think this and Reina de Reyes challenge is the first, because I believe she's still the longest reigning Reina de Reyes champion. And she'll obviously and she is obviously still the longest reigning Knockouts champion too. So for Deonna to hold the belt of the reign for Reina de Reyes, obviously she'll come for that. And then if Deonna is the champion at Hard to Kill, she'll come for that as well. So there could very well be a link there.
There could be, and the good thing is that obviously Impact have a working relationship with AAA, so I don't think there's any reason, really. Violet, we know she was with AAA and Lucha Underground before Impact. I just feel that her in-ring stuff was kind of honed with AAA, but it wasn't until she came to Impact that she really started to hone her backstage and her acting skills, shall we say?
You see that with a lot of companies. Their other companies focus more on in-ring, whereas other companies are focused more on the character side of things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I just think that's where when she came into Impact, she came into her own, and was just amazing, just absolutely amazing. Okay, so not only did we have Taya then turn up, obviously for the AAA promo, which was amazing. It was great to see. We then get Mickie James and Kiera Hogan in an epic NWA Hard Times match. Now, for the Impact Wrestling Knockouts title. Now, obviously, Mickie James wins, but it was a damn good match. Now, I don't know whether you got to see it, Steve, but I highly recommend that you check out Hard Times 2 if you get the opportunity, because it was a really good pay-per-view, well worth checking out. Did you get to see this one, or did you see any highlights or anything with regards to this?
Yeah, I did manage to see it. Yeah.
And what were your thoughts then?
Overall thoughts, I thought it was a really good pay-per-view.
I thought it was too.
From top to bottom.
What were your thoughts on the Knockouts Impact Championship match, though?
Again, very, very good match. Never really felt like I never really felt Kiera was going to beat
Hardcore Country.
Oh, sorry. I
always get beyond that, it was a fantastic match, and you forget just how good Kiera is when you're not watching her week in, week out. But yeah, it was good to see her wrestle again, and good to see her wrestle, a veteran like Mickie James, and I think that those two matched up really well. And it was really surprising not to see Deonna turn up.
I think there was I agree with that. I thought Deonna might have turned up for this as well. But what I think is, like, Kiera and Mickie have a very similar style. And it's interesting because when as we know, Mickie was a very big influence on Kira when she was, when she first started training and as a youngster. And I just think that this was such a big match for her, that she made sure that she basically gave everything that she possibly could in this match, and it was just a really, really good match. And like I said to you guys, you've seen it. I don't know where Joe has, but it's definitely well worth going and checking that out, even if you can only find some highlights or whatever. But I would go and get on Fight, and I would buy it and watch this show.
I love this match!
I agree. I loved it too. So it's all good. But I highly recommend, guys, if you haven't seen the show, go and get it. It's a really good show. And Terence, I happen to agree that Impact needs another show. I'm not so sure it needs to have another show with male and female. I honestly believe that Impact need a second show which is just knockouts based. That would then automatically free up some time on the Thursday night show. I'm not saying they shouldn't have any knockouts on the Thursday show. I'm not saying that, but you could potentially like lighten it a little bit, so it's a little bit less, which then opens up a little bit more time. I also think that we need to do more with BTI. We need to get a match at the start and a match at the end. I'm not saying they shouldn't do the recap stuff. I'm not saying we shouldn't have the skits that we've got in the middle of it, but I think they should utilize that a little bit more.
I mean, we said that about the digital media matches. They could very easily be on the BTI. I mean, the one today was a lot longer, although it was very confusing. But
yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But I know exactly what you're saying. So we then had this week, we had Matt Cardona arriving on NWA and puts his trademark and also he puts in a trademark for Deathmatch King. So I'm interested to see where all this goes. I mean, obviously, he wants to trademark Deathmatch King, which is interesting. His arrival on NWA is interesting because it looks like he's going for the NWA World Title as well. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Joe, on Matt turning up at NWA and also, applying for a trademark for Deathmatch King?
Well, Matt Cardona, he's one of these guys that's completely rebuilt himself since leaving the WWE.
Agree.
So, there's no reason why he shouldn't start fighting for his own brands to become his before somebody else tries to capitalize on it again. He is a well-renowned deathmatch wrestler. Even before he went into WWE, he was in a hell of a lot of hardcore matches and stuff. And he was GCW heavyweight champion. And so I think it's great that we're seeing him expand now a bit more and people maybe take him a bit more seriously now. He's really, really showing this is who I am. This is what I can do.
Yeah.
And going to NWA, that's a huge step forward for him as well. It doesn't mean he's finished with Impact Wrestling at all. He seems committed to Impact Wrestling for the long run. I think he's under a contract. So it's great to see NWA and Impact Wrestling once again working together and sharing talent and not trying to outdo each other. And Matt Cardona is one of these guys who, since he came on this year, he's been amazing. And
I agree.
He's one of the guys I've been rallying behind out for ages since he came to Impact Wrestling. Since it was even rumored he'd come to Impact Wrestling. I think
what's interesting is though with people like Matt Cardona, Brian Myers, these guys have got such massive followings that I don't know, Impact would be silly not to have them on their show because they are bringing more eyes to the product, and it's a matter what people think. He's bringing eyes to the product. There is no doubt about that. What about you, Steve? What are your thoughts?
I'm intrigued the fact that he's filed for this trademark as the Deathmatch King, because I would love to see that more from him in Impact, and I place this on Impact's hands because he's shown that he can place more of a type of character into himself. But from what I've seen of him in Impact, he seems like the same person that was in WWE. I don't really feel like I've got much more out of him than when he debuted in January. But from what I see him outside of Impact, I'm like, there's something here that is really good character-wise. So I don't know what it is, and I want the character we've got outside of Impact, inside of Impact, and the fact he's filed that trademark, hopefully he can bring it into Impact. And going into NWA, again, he said he's the most happiest he's ever been.
Exactly.
That says he's not going anywhere. The fact he's turned up at NWA, just shows that there is probably more bridges going to be built between NWA and Impact.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. I think they are both. I mean, Matt Cardona and Brian Myers, both of them are huge gets for Impact Wrestling. And I just don't think people realize how big a deal it is that they've come here, regardless of whether, they might not be at a CM Punk level or a Bryan Danielson level or whatever, but they are still, they are still big gets. I'm not talking about wrestling ability. I'm just talking about level of fandom, like the amount of people that basically, salivate over CM Punk, even though he's done nothing for their ratings whatsoever.
Well, CM Punk himself said that the casual viewer doesn't exist no more. You have the fans that watch the show, and that is it.
Yeah, exactly. You either watch it or you don't. It's not about casual fans anymore. Nobody really does it, and that's the thing, and that's why I don't believe in the ratings. I don't understand why everyone worries about the ratings so much. As long as your promotion is making money and making enough money to be able to continue running their shows and do their thing, then you should be happy, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't get all the whinging and bitching about the ratings.
Yeah, totally. I totally get that.
That's why I think you should look after the fans you have.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. So, sorry, Mir, why are you calling me a skunk? That's kind of weird. Skunk Bison. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be, but anyway, or was that something to do with CM Punk? I don't know. CM Skunk? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. Anyway, so interestingly enough, when people talk about the ratings and all this kind of stuff, I just wish people would seriously understand that, these days, people are more into streaming. They're more into, other ways of watching their shows. They don't always watch it when it goes out either. They just don't do it. So, people need to just sort of kind of get over it and move on. And that's it. But there you go. So anyway, all good news. I mean, the more that he gets out there, the more people get to see him. If he gains more fans, they know that he's on Impact Wrestling. They'll come and watch on Impact Wrestling. They'll go and watch NWA, whatever. It makes no difference, where they are, as long as they're promoting, all the promotions that they work for. As far as I'm concerned, that's the way I sort of kind of feel about it. Oh, I just noticed Smash This Podcast. So I've just noticed J-Bone's in the chat. Nice to see you, buddy.
Hey,
right.
J-Bone.
Yeah, J-Bone's in the chat. He knows that Mir's favourite wrestler is CM Punk. We've also got Naira Shakri is in as well. So it's nice to see we definitely got plenty of people in the house checking us out today. So I'm pleased for that. It's great. Right. Okay. So moving on. So last night we had the digital media match. Now, interestingly enough, I've obviously gone away from the sort of kind of digital media championship side of things at the moment. I think that probably next week we'll get something because of the tapings. But obviously they decided to give us an exclusive match, and that is the Lariata Pro Heavyweight Championship match between John Skyler and Brian Myers. Now, Myers gets the win to then be disqualified for Skyler to then be reinstated. Now, I thought it was a good match. I enjoyed the match. It was a big storytelling element to this match, as opposed to, it wasn't pure wrestling. There was a lot of storytelling going on. I enjoyed the match. It entertained me from start to finish. But it was a bit weird. This whole kind of disqualification, winning, I don't know. It was a bit weird. But I thought John Schuyler really sold it really well. I love the way he's kind of like he grabs the title and sort of sneaks out of the ring as quick as possible, skulls off like a scolded dog, which is interesting. But I thought, I enjoyed it, and obviously it gave us a longer period as well, because it was about 25 minutes. The match was, from beginning to end, it was like a 25-minute segment. So I enjoyed it. What were your thoughts? Have you seen it yet, Joe?
No, I've not.
Okay, Steve, what about you?
For me, the more kind of the more confusing bit I struggled to get my head around longer was seeing Brian Myers as a babyface. I was like, it took me a little while, the fact that he was the babyface, because we've not seen him as a babyface yet, have we? He's pretty much been a heel since he came in. So yeah, him being the babyface and Schuyler being the heel was a bit like, oh, okay. It took me a little while to get used to it, but the fact that it was a 25-minute match, near enough, which was nice, but it was just really, really weird how it had no impact on the digital media title at all, and we've not really seen that yet. We've not really seen matches have any storyline or any real implications on the digital media title. They're just matches that are put on their digital media platform.
Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, there is no. I guess what they're trying to do is that they're saying, right, okay, so we've got the digital media thing going on, but again, it's very much based on. It's got to be based on the tapings as well, because obviously they've ran out of matches to give us. So now they're giving us a couple of matches, which obviously we haven't seen. They're probably just thinking like the Wrestle House match that we had last week. At the end of the day, was a match that they, that they obviously filmed, but decided not to put in. But why waste that? If you filmed it, why waste it? So let's give it out on digital. It doesn't necessarily mean that the digital media exclusives have to be just based on the digital media championship, does it? It's just an exclusive, which you're not going to get on the show or anywhere else.
Yeah.
So I thought it was cool.
It was a great match,
and it was nice.
If you're still unsure on John Schuyler, watch this match, because this was a fantastic match to sort of say why he is a great wrestler, especially wrestling someone like Brian Myers. But when it comes to the digital media championship, it's still tricky to get invested in it, because we've seen there's no reason as to why one competitor wants it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that we're probably going to start seeing something as of next week, I would imagine, because they're going to want to build something now. I mean, what you have to remember is that they can't build anything to the next Impact Plus special, because that is a Throwback Throwdown. So you can't just suddenly have a digital media championship on there. So they're not building up to that. So the next logical place for this to go would be Hard to Kill, I guess. Maybe again on the pre-show, or
or Genesis.
Yeah,
or possibly Genesis.
Jake is still the number one contender, isn't he?
Who? Sorry,
Jake's still the number one contender, isn't he?
Yes.
Should be.
Yes. Yeah. So somewhere along the line, we're going to have to get Jake something versus Jordan Grace. Now, when that's going to happen, I don't know. Maybe that's going to happen on the Hard to Kill pre-show. Possibly. I mean, I don't know. It's just speculative. Maybe that's where we're going with that. I don't know. But let's just bear with it. We know it's the end of the year. We know that things now are sort of kind of winding down a little bit, ready to kickstart into 2022. We could just take it from there. Let's just see what happens. What's that, Trent? What's Trent saying? Why was a pre-hard to kill show on a jokey show? I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Let us know. Let us know, Trent, what you mean, bud.
Okay, he's talking about IPWF. I think he's talking about okay, I get that. I get what you're saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. But I think that at the end of the day, what they're looking to go for is they're looking to sort of kind of like lighten the mood a little bit. I think going into Christmas, and then they're gonna bam hit us with some proper badass shit in 2022. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see. I'm feeling optimistic, that's for sure. But I'm actually looking forward to Throwback Throwdown. So because I thought, I love that stuff. I think it's fun.
It's a bit of like fun, and especially near Christmas. It's something a bit different to kind of let your hair down, kind of around. Well, not that you can, Bison, but
no, I can't let my hair
near
down.
Christmas.
I have been growing my beard. It's getting quite bushy again. Great big bushy beard. So it's getting a bit bushy, but I will have that cut ready for Christmas to get a nice fresh look. Got to look good in the Christmas photos, haven't you? Where the kids are opening presents.
Oh, baby!
I love it. So Trent's saying that he feels that the IPWF should be done around Halloween rather than Christmas. Yeah, possibly. You may be right. It's something I probably
apples and oranges, different strokes for different folks.
I kind of, I like the show.
If they were to do it again after this one, I would do it around Halloween.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah,
but like you said, it's more. It's 2021. We're still under the bloody pandemic. Let's end the year with something to laugh about at least, and then
exactly. Yeah, I'm done with that. I bet. Do you know what? I think I got to say, guys, I had my booster today, and I'm feeling quite mellow because I don't feel great. I'm not feeling my best, so I had my booster. I'm starting to flag a little bit. So yeah. I'm not full of much beefalo today. I'm just saying, and my beard is definitely longer than Trent's marriage. But at the end of the day, I'm definitely feeling a bit that way. In the moment, Ted has got nothing to say, mate. I'm afraid. I'm sorry about that. Ted's got nothing to say at the moment, but who knows? He may say something in the future. You never know. But anyway, so we then move on to tomorrow night. Obviously, Thursdays are all about Impact Wrestling. So we then move on. We've got a BTI match to die for. Really looking forward to this one. We've got Kimberly, obviously the undead bridesmaid Kimberly versus Lady Frost. So this is basically her first match since we've had the news from Fightful. Again, it's not been officially announced from Impact, but the news that we have released from Fightful stating that Lady Frost has now been signed to Impact Wrestling. Now, Lady Frost being in a BTI match, the end of BTI leading into Impact Wrestling, I think it's actually a good thing because what it does is it allows her to get a good 10-minute match in. And with it being against Kimberly, it's going to be a fantastic match. And I'm really excited for this. And I can't stress enough how you guys need to make sure you watch BTI tomorrow, even if all you do is catch the last 15 minutes to watch this match. I think it's going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to it. I think we're going to get to see some badass moonsaults from Lady Frost. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, well, what are your thoughts on this one, Joe?
Oh, we all love a temperature drop, don't we? Kimberly and Lady Frost are very, very evenly matched and very, very similar in style. So it's going to be a fantastic match to kick it off the whole night. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm just over the moon to see Lady Frost is signed with Impact Wrestling. She's been pushing it since the news had broken that she might be with Impact Wrestling. She's been pushing Impact Wrestling and promoting it more and more since that's come around. And hopefully we'll get the Savage Gentleman onto the roster too.
Yeah, I think the Savage Gent would be absolutely badass, and I'm really surprised they haven't brought him in already, even if it was just for like a one-off match, just to get a good see how he comes off on TV, that type of stuff. I think I have a feeling that we may see Pretty Proper turn up, because one of the only one of the only promotions on TV at the moment that would push a male and female tag team would be Impact Wrestling. So it's not like it's something we're afraid to do. We've done it in the past. I think it would be amazing if Pretty Proper turned up on Impact Wrestling. I think it'd be cool. And so, yeah, Savage Gent would be amazing. I'm all up for that. He's a great talent, amazing in-ring performer. If you saw him at NWA, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The guy is fantastic. Sorry, Mir, what are you saying there, buddy? Any news Impact Wrestling comes to my neck of the woods, Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Well, it was mentioned, I believe, on the stream last week on Insider. I think it was mentioned that they'll be heading to Fort Lauderdale in Florida after Texas. So that sounds fantastic for you, Mia. You can get down to those shows. It'd be good. Maybe get front row Bill. Get next to front row Bill. We get some shots of Mia on TV. How cool would that be? That would be pretty badass. So there's lots of cool stuff going on there. Hakeem, we look forward to seeing you tomorrow, buddy. Thanks for dropping by. Yes, Violet. Victor was on NWA as well. So good to see that. Very excited to see where he goes with that, but I'm sure he's going to turn up on Impact Wrestling at some point in 2022. I'm convinced of that because I honestly believe that Lady Frost signing would have been wanting Victor involved as well. I'm pretty sure of that. So fingers crossed. We'll have to wait and see. I'm looking forward to that match. That's going to be great. Now we got advertised for Impact Wrestling tomorrow night. We've got Eric Young versus Rhino in a street fight. I'm all for this one. This is going to be pretty badass. I'm hoping this one ends up all over the arena. This can't be just in the ring street fight. This needs to be all over the place. And I'm all over that. I think this is going to be great. What about you, boys? What are your thoughts on Rhino versus EY?
This is Rhino territory. This isn't going to stay in the ring. This is going to have all of Violent by Design involved. Heath, Rich Swann, Willie Mack. It's going to be chaos. This is going to be awesome.
Pull my scarf.
Exactly. That is going to be hold my scarf. Definitely, I agree with that.
Yeah, we're going to see. I mean, there's a lot between these two, isn't there? We're going to see everything under the sun. I mean, we might even see the kitchen sink.
I think we could. I think there is a possibility we could see a kitchen sink in this one. Definitely.
Yeah, it would be interesting if it stays just between, Violent by Design and Rhino and Heath. Because by the end of the night, we saw Swan and Matt come out. So it'll be interesting if we see the other teams get involved with this.
Yeah, no, without doubt. I one thing I do know is, funny enough, it looks like Jay Brains just mentioned it. I think we're going to see we could see this bleed into the streets of Vegas.
Yes,
definitely, and we're definitely going to see some blood.
It'd be great if it turned into like the riot back in 2008, 2009, wouldn't
it? You never know. I still have to say though, like one of my favorite moments, and people are going to hate me for saying it, I know that, but one of my favorite moments of the New York tapings that I went to in 2019 was the street fight between Tessa and Sami Callihan. They went outside. That was just insane, and the amount of views that got on YouTube was crazy. It was hitting like millions. It was ridiculous. But yeah, no, that was one seriously cool street fight there. So I'm hoping that we get street fight, like say, in the streets of Vegas. Yeah, it'd be amazing. Get it bursting out into the into the floors of the gambling floors and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it would just be mental. It would just be mental. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see where that one pans out.
In my ass.
Exactly. We've then got advertised Rohit Raju versus Lawrence D. It's a very match-heavy show tomorrow, I'm going to say, by the way. But we've got Rohit Raju versus Lawrence D. Again, I am so pleased to see Larry D back on Impact TV. And I love the fact he's coming back with the Lawrence D character. I still think they need to sell ring rust. They need to sell ring rust. I want to see a limited edition bottle of ring rust signed by Lawrence D available on the Impact Plus. Available on Shop Impact. Because
Present
I'm telling
for
you,
for Christmas.
I'll be ordering that shit. I'll be all over it. I want some ring rust. But yeah, so interesting stuff. What are your thoughts on this one, Steve?
Yeah, this is going to be it's going to be one of those that is going to be a great match. But I get the feeling it's going to be a very comical match as well, because the Lawrence D character can have you in stitches, and we know that Rohit plays the cowardly heel, but he can play it with comedy effect as well. So it's gonna both men, and I'm gonna be intrigued because I don't know if we've seen on him Lawrence D wrestle, have we? We
haven't.
So, yeah,
I don't know actually. Did he wrestle in Wrestle House? The last Wrestle House, the first one.
I don't know, but obviously Wrestle House they didn't go full on, did they?
No.
So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to sort of see. But I think this match is going to be one of those matches that's going to be full of like the comedy errors. So yeah, it's going to be a sight to see, and afterwards it's going to be where we see where the Lawrence D character goes.
Yes. Totally. And Anna, Violet, you're right. Mrs. Bison would absolutely love me wearing ring rust, I'm sure. It'd be a bit like wearing Brute, or I should imagine, back in the day. Or we used to have one over here in the UK called High Karate. Do you remember that, Steve, or not? I think you might be a bit young for that.
No.
Do you ever High Karate aftershave? Oh man, it was disgusting. It smelled like dishwater. But anyway.
I do wonder if the ring rust is going to be one of those things that becomes a weapon that just keeps sprayed in the eyes, kind of thing.
Oh, there you go. See, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe the ring rust is a weapon. Interesting. What are your guys' thoughts in the chat? I'd be interested to know what you guys think on that. So yeah, I think this is going to be a good match. I'm looking forward to it. Like I say, a bit of comedy, bit of fun. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, this one. Then we've got the learning tree of VSK. J-Bo's favorite wrestler, and obviously Sticky Rice versus former Impact Tag Team Champs Finjuice. Right, okay, so about time we've got a different tag match for Finjuice. I actually think this is going to be really good. I was impressed with. I've not particularly been impressed with VSK up until his performance at Turning Point, where I thought he started to show a lot of promise, started to show what he could probably do. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this one goes. I think this could be a really, really good match, or it'll be an easy win for Finjuice. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, no, I've been impressed with VSK ever since I think he appeared against El Fantasmo. I've always thought he had something. I think nowadays people are so overhyped with they've got to be fantastic at everything. That I mean, you look back in the early days. I mean, AJ Styles was great in the ring, but didn't have any personality. Whereas I think VSK has got something. But I kind of feel like the learning tree have to win this. Otherwise, where do they go from here?
Well, maybe this is where it could lead to some sort of split of the learning tree. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows? Or maybe it's where Brian Myers gets involved.
Could be. Yeah, could be. Yeah, a return of Brian Myers. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Yeah. Definitely. We then move on And we've got the influence and the inspiration versus the incredible Decay. I'd be interested to know your thoughts on this one. I mean, I'd be interested to know what Black Taurus has to say actually on this match. I mean, what's his thoughts on this, do you think? Well, interesting stuff. I think Black Taurus knows who's going to win. I think he's certainly, he's certainly got some interesting stuff to say on this match. But what about you, Steve? I mean, what are your thoughts?
Well, your first thought is instinct says Decay win this, and Madison takes the pin.
You think?
You know, well, yeah, because it kind of keeps it kind of sort of shows that Madison is, should we say, the weak
link. Yes, yeah, I get it. I see what. Yeah, and then that leads to a big argument. Tenille pisses her, you know,
sort of like,
fucks her off.
We're stronger without you, kind of thing. And
yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. You know, she could sort of kind of like screw her off. You know, Decay obviously walk away with a win, which is great, which everyone keeps everyone happy. Inspiration aren't the ones getting pinned, although they lose. They're in the losing team. You know, Madison she's the weak link, and then that's how Tenille ends up joining the Inspiration. Done, booked, sorted. But yeah, it could be interesting to see where that one goes. I'm rooting for Decay. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Arkin Violet. I think Madison might retire again. Who knows?
Even if she does, she's got a head on her that could definitely run the Knockouts division with Gale.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's no doubt about that. There is a role for Madison, regardless of whether she's in the ring or not. You know, we know that she could do a bit of commentary. I mean, I don't want her to go back and do that, but she, you know, we know she can do that. I want to see Vader Scott join the team. I think Vader Scott with D'Lo and Stryker would be really good. It keeps Stryker on his toes, that's for sure. You know, with Vader in there, definitely. But there you go. I mean, that's another conversation. But yeah, Madison. I think this is where we see Madison. You know, get booted out, shall we say, from the team, and we'll get Caleb with a K and Tenille join the Inspiration. I think that's where this is going to go. But we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? What are your thoughts in the chat? What do you think is going to happen? I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it either way. I think it's going to be fun. And a big Decay fan, you know, at the end of the day, you know. So, and I just love, you know, everything that Black Taurus has to say about all of this as well, because at the end of the day, he really knows his onions. He's a very intelligent, very, very intelligent man.
Cocktail hour, brother.
Exactly. But anyway, so he has a lot to say about this match, and I'm looking forward to where it goes. We then have, which is the last match of the night. I mean, we've got 5 matches, so it's a pretty heavy 1.5 hours worth of wrestling. We've got Deanna Purrazzo and Matthew Raywalt versus Mickie James and Chris Sabin. Now, you know, I like the way this one sort of kind of like panned out. So they really sort of built this one in. I think this is going to be good. And again, this leads into what I was talking about. They're not afraid to do this kind of male-female tag team thing. So, you know, I don't know. What are your thoughts, Steve? What are your thoughts on this one?
This would be a fantastic match. You've got four great talents in there, and 4 very experienced talents as well. And we know Impact, they're not afraid to do male on female booking. So we will definitely see Sabin going one-on-one with Deanna, and we'll definitely see Mickie going up one-on-one with Matthew Raywalt. Both of which will be very, very interesting to see. And looking at the rest of the card, I wouldn't be surprised either this or Scott's announcement of the Ultimate X participants. I wouldn't be surprised if either of those two will main event the night.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Because I would have thought that the street fight would have been the main event.
Possibly, but I don't know. The street fight.
That's your two biggest stars, to be fair.
It is, but I don't know the street fight. What comes out of the street fight. I think the street fight would be a good way to open the show. With those two brawling all over the show, kind of thing.
Yeah. What am I playing dumb here? We've had a lot of people coming in. What does VOI mean?
What does what? Sorry.
What does VOI mean? Somebody's just come in. A few people have been saying it in the chat. VOI, FYI. I know FYI is for your information, but what does VOI mean?
I don't know. I'm not very good with these kind of things.
No, nor am I. Somebody let me know in the chat. What does VOI mean? And then we can take it. I'm probably going to feel like an absolute twat now because it'd be like something completely obvious that just I'm not picking up. But there you go. But it's I think this is going to be an interesting match. I definitely think that the Rhino EY is the main event, but this could possibly be the match before the main event. I would imagine either this one or the Influence versus Decay. I mean, to be fair, you've got three pretty like badass matches on the card that or big matches. Your Eric Young Rhino street fight is obviously a big match. Your Influence Inspiration versus Decay is going to be a popular big match, and then of course you've got Deanna Mickey facing off Chris Sabin versus Matthew Raywell. I mean, it's big. And that's not taking anything away from Rohit, Lawrence D, Learning Tree, and Finjuice at all. But I just think that those guys would be those would be your three biggest matches. That's just my thought. I would say that probably Rohit and the Lawrence D match will kick the night off, maybe. But we'll just have to wait and see. Hello, Paul. Nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining us. I know that obviously it's morning there for you, even though right now it's 7:30 p.m. for us. It's great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us, my friend. So that's pretty much everything for us. We've got, like I say, we've got a big night planned for tomorrow. Really looking forward to that. We've had some great stuff going on this past week with regards to Impact Wrestling, the world of Impact Wrestling and pro wrestling as a whole. So we've had pretty good discussions tonight. Sorry to say that Joe had to go. Unfortunately, our dog was it Mass Dog? I don't know. Our mascot dog. It was feeling a little bit unwell, so we had to go and deal with that. So unfortunately, Joe isn't back with us, but thanks for joining us for most of the show, buddy. Appreciate it. So it's all good. Please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for exclusive extra content when you sign up, and also make sure you watch tomorrow night's TNI Flagcheck Impact live review directly after the show is aired on Twitch and YouTube. Again, you never know who may be on that panel. Also, all TNI shows are available for all you listen on the go fans as audio only via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your favorite shows. I was going to say, where can we find you, Joe? But of course, Joe's not with us. But don't forget to go check Joe out on the social medias.
Is it JOKE
empty space? Yeah, that's it. If you do a search for Daily Giggle, you can normally find him, or The Void.
Yeah, hashtag empty giggle. They're fantastic.
Yeah, he normally pops up with all of that. And don't forget, he's also available on Wrestle Buddies to go and check that out. What about you, Steve? Where can we find you, pal?
You can find me at Simply Steve 311 over on Twitter for everything Impact Wrestling related. Or like Joe, you can find me at WrestleBuddy.com under the Impact Wrestling header, where I pop a new Impact Wrestling article every Thursday.
Fantastic. And if you're interested in finding out a little bit more from the Bison, you can find me on Twitter at Lord Bison 45, pretty much where I do all of my, wrestling chat. And, please, feel free to give me a follow. Also, obviously, I'm always promoting TNI, so you don't miss any of that sort of stuff as well. But that said, please take the time to help us out moving up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to us, as I see there's been a few new people in the chat today, don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button, and also give that bell a tickle, a squeeze, or even a smash to never miss any of the TNI UK and US teams' great content each and every single week. Don't forget, if you want to support us financially, then head over to the TNI Spreadshirt store. And also, don't forget, we've got the pro wrestling tees.com/total nonstop impact shirts, where you can get all the different shirts. On the Spreadshirt, of course, we've got the 100% I am 100% pure beefalo stuff, which is available now. So if you're interested in getting some of that, I also have another shirt available soon. So watch this space. I just want to say a huge thank you to UK wrestling superstar Elijah for joining us today. Absolutely fantastic to have him on the show. Make sure you go check him out at Elijah Wrestler on Twitter and YouTube. Also go check out some of his stuff. There's some loads of stuff on there. Big Cartel merch as well. Loads and loads of great stuff on there. And just for me, I'm going to bring Ted into the fray. I know that he loves a little bit of stuff from Ted, so I'm just going to bring him in. Let me make sure I get me thing over there so you can hear him. Here we go. Well, I don't know what he's going to say. Are we ready?
Oh, fuck that. It's been 4 years, Johnny. You and me have been together for 27 years. Where's my ring? Huh? Where's my ring, asshole? Where's my ring, motherfucker? Put it on my fuzzy finger, you fuck. Come on.
There you go. That's what Ted's contribution. He's let's put him back. Let's put him back. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's my Thunder buddy. He likes to make an appearance on the show every now and again. He does lurk in the background. He often gives me a little poke. He does like to come on the show. So there you go. Just from here, he had a few remarks. He had a few marks there at the end. But as I said, with all that said, I've been Bison. This has been Simply Steve, and of course Joe-ker earlier on, and Elijah. And this has been episode 60 of Impacted. Take care, everyone.
Take care.
We're Bison! We are